Alright, just arrived at the squid grounds. That water is clear as hell. Sitting on some nice weed. Let's get some jigs in the water, see how we go. So today I'm going to fish a couple of jigs in the rod holder, also known as dead sticking it. So essentially with that, cast a jig out, set the drag. It's just still left-handed from the girlfriend using it. That's alright. Position the rod holder where we want it, angle it up a bit. There we are. A couple of motorised cyclists on the ocean, and then that will hopefully pick up some squid. We'll do the same with this one. Little 2.5 in a muley pattern. Cast him out the front a bit. Oh, that was on the bottom already. The drift is real slow. That jig might be a bit heavy. It can go on the front rod holder. Line's caught around the tip. Careful of that. There we are. Another left-handed reel. Oh, there's a squid already. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That wasn't too hard, was it? First cast. Beautiful. Haven't even got the third rod out yet. Oof, he's only just hooked. That's alright, I'll get him in. Beautiful. Look at that. That's what we want to see. Gorgeous squid. Get the water out of him. Beautiful. Ah, he's going to ink. Alright, try that again. Didn't even get a chance to really sink much, did it? This one's hooked on the bottom, so we'll wind that in and check for weed. Yeah, there's a bit of weed on it. Get that off. Perfect. Cast him back out. Still might change that jig, it could be a bit heavy, but we'll keep the line up near the surface. Gotta get used to winding left-handed. And then a little karate chop. Oof, he's dead. Like that. In the bucket. Alright. So, we know the little muley pattern works. Let him do his thing. That drag's probably a bit tight. There we go. Oh, touch the bottom again. This one I think is going to be a bit of a problem, having a 3 on it. With just such a slow drift. Yeah. Might just fish it real close to the boat. For now. See how it goes. If it doesn't produce anything, we'll put a smaller jig on. There we are. Alright, and then while those two are just bobbing away, not doing much, we'll cast this red-headed jig out the other side of the boat, ahead of the drift, and see if we can't pick up some more squid. Let's give it a crack. The jig's just dangling there next to the boat. If the squid are hungry enough, they'll eat that. No worries about that. Especially if we hook another one and bring it up closer. They'll normally come up in a school and they'll shoot off and grab that jig there, so may work to our advantage. But the water is so clear, it's insane. Another guy on a tinny having a squid, another boat down drift of us having a squid. Alright, just hooked another squid. Try and hopefully bring him in slowly enough, and he'll bring a little squadron of squid with him. And then that means that these two jigs will drift past them. And fingers crossed we can get a couple more. Oof, he's holding on by a single long tentacle. Gotta be careful here. Not a bad little squid. Not a bad squid at all. There we are, beautiful. Come here, mate. Give him a squeeze. Get it off. Get all the water out so there's an ink everywhere. Nope, didn't stop him from trying. Cast that back out in the same direction of where we got the first squid. Position that there quickly. Give him a little chop. Look at that, dead. In the bucket. Beautiful. A few more of them and we'll have a nice feed and some fresh baits for tomorrow. Try and catch some snapper while this weather's so bloody nice. See how we go. Still highly considering changing that jig. Something a bit smaller, maybe a darker colour. Just with this sort of overcast. See how we go. There's another squid there. Look at that. Oh, squirt up. Same single tentacle. Oof. He's barely hooked. Let's get him in gently. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect bait size. Those heads are going to be awesome. It's almost full of water. There we go. Good boy. Making a mess of my carpet. Try that again. It came out of the same sort of area, just sitting sort of here, which means there could be a few. So we'll just give this a little bit of a jiggle, entice some action. There's no squid. Oh, see, look at that, straight away. Gave it a jig. The squid coming out of look. Oh, he's not too bad. Not too bad. I think that jig there might have picked up some seaweed. It feels a bit heavier. Yep, not a bad squid at all. Happy with that. Gorgeous. Absolute gorgeous squid. Get the water out. Come on, squeeze it. There we go. Oh, he's still trying to ink on me. Quick karate chop. Put him out of his misery. Get this jig back out there. Oof, he's covered in ink. That's where you need a toothbrush. But that works just as well. Cast him back out. Yep, there's another one on the drop. He would have been sitting there following that. The minute I let it sink a little bit, he's grabbed it. Oof, might lose this one. Oh, just, whoop, big squirt. He barely had hold of it. We were lucky. Another little ink job. Cast that back out. Give him the karate chop. There we go. In the esky he goes, or the bucket I should say. This jig's not doing well at all. What's wrong with it? Besides being quite close to the boat. No weight on it. A little bit of action imparted into him. Let it sink a bit. jig it. It's a bit of a juggle fish in 3 rods, but we haven't got a lot of time till that sun goes down. Try and maximise on getting a good little bag of squid while we can. Alright, just going to quickly change the jig. What have we got? 5 already. Just going to change this jig to something a bit lighter so I can get it out the back of the boat a bit further and it won't hit the weed. And of course I've buried my squid jigs. Try this little green bad boy. Actually, this one here I think. And that one there might be the go. Little Yakamito. Oh, there's a squid. Ah, dropped him. That's alright, hopefully he comes back. If it hasn't spooked him too much. Getting a prick in the arm. Alright, perfect. New jig, new colour, bit smaller, won't sink as fast in this shallower water with such a slow drift. Which means we should be able to, hopefully, pick up a squid. Yeah, perfect. Pick that up. Put him down. There we are. You don't want your drag too tight when you're fighting squid, otherwise you'll just pull the barbs straight out of their tentacles. Alright, I'll just bomb this one out, and I'll just check that one to make sure he hasn't got any tentacles left on his barbs, because that'll stop all squid from grabbing it. Nah, she's clean. Cast him into that little weed patch. I reckon that'll be a good little spot for some squid. They'll hunt on the edges of the weed where the sand sort of meets it. Just drag this jig through it. We'll see if that colour change and size change makes a difference, being able to cast it further away from the dinghy in such clear water. Might be all it takes to get a squid. But we'll see how we go. Keep persisting. Alright, quick move. Let's go. Water's a bit deep here. It's sitting about 7 meters. So I've just gone over the edge, sort of find that there. You can just see the weed now. It's about 5 meters. It's coming up to the shallower bank. So I'm going to set up for a squid here. Yeah, there we go. There's the 4 meter edge. Perfect. I reckon there'll be some squid sitting on that drop off. So if we can get a jig out, like so. The water is so clear, it's amazing. We're in 4.5 meters of water. You can see the bottom, clear as day. Alright. So the other thing is when I moved from in there back out here, I did a bit of an arc because I wanted to drift sort of through this area here. And the last thing you want to do is drive straight up where you want to drift back down, because all you're going to do is spook the squid and minimize your chances of getting into them. So I always remember to just sort of do semi sort of loop around the spot you want to drift, and then that way when you set up you haven't run over them and spooked them. So let's get into it. I got a guy setting up drift downwind of us, so that's alright. We'll hopefully catch a few out here and move back over a little bit and keep going. Work our way up the rock wall. There's a ton of weed beds the whole way up here on this southwest side of Cockburn. Oh. That one will be the bottom. Not entirely sure. Must have come up pretty shallow off that ledge. So we'll just line this one up. It's back on the bottom again. Cast that out. Grab this one. Get the weed off. What have I done there? Managed to wrap it around the tip. There we are. Beautiful. Try that again. Won't let so much slack out this time. That one's going well still. No weed. Another boat drifting just on the inside. See how we go. Alright, I didn't get anything on that second drift, so I've moved up the rock wall quite a bit towards the island. It's a little bit shallower, I think it's about 2.8 on average, and it gets shallower as you get closer to the rock wall. We'll give it a crack here. It's away from every other boat, so fingers crossed. It means no one's drifted through here lately today, and the squid are fresh to see in jigs, and then we can get a couple more. If I can get 5 more and 10 total, I'll be pretty happy. There'll be a few fresh baits, nice feed of fresh squid for dinner, and won't be complaining about that at all. That easterly wind's picked up a little bit. Oh, come on, there we go. And means we'll drift a little bit faster, which is a good thing. We'll keep these jigs out of the weed, and I'll keep casting ahead of the drift, and hopefully bag a few more. Got a beautiful sunset out over the rock wall, so let's get into it. Oh, I think we got one. Yes we do, finally. So we'll cast out this jig behind that one. It's not a very big one because he's not pulling any drag. Still, squid's a squid. We're happy with that. Oh, he let go, which means he hadn't even been hooked. So we'll drop the jig back. Explain why he wasn't fighting too hard. He was just holding on to it. Can we get him to grab hold again? Or was he opting for the other jig? Might have upset him taking it out of his mouth. No, there he is. That's better. Alright, now he's hooked. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Oof. Yeah, he was just holding on to it. There we go, he's pulled it straight into his mouth. Oh, not a bad squid at all, actually. Not a bad squid at all. Come on, mate. There we go. Good boy. Ink out there. And on the carpet. Oof. Quick kill. In the bucket. Alright. This little jig finally produced. Let's try that again. So this goes to show the importance of having a line dead stick, I suppose you'd call it. It's a technical name for it. Just dragging behind the boat. Picks up any inquisitive little hungry squid with very little effort, and allows you to cast and retrieve and prospect the area a bit more with another combo, another jig. And I also like to fish different sort of colours and sizes to try and figure out if there's any particular pattern or colour that's going to produce the most squid, because they'll feed on a certain type of bait fish in the area or prawn, etc. And if you're matching the hatch with size and colour, one of them will do a lot better than the others. Nice looking little boat. Alright, sun's going down nicely. We'll keep at it. Right, so we just moved away from the rock wall. We're getting a bit close. We drifted in. We got one squid on that drift, on this little dead stick combo. Little Gamoku Agawa and the Daiwa Legalis 2500. Perfect little, very flexible rod for rod holder squidding. Plenty of bend. Not going to pull the jig out of the tentacles. This one's a bit stiff though. It's actually a snapper, a lure combo I use for snapper. I didn't grab the right rod when I left this afternoon, but that's okay. I've still caught a few squid. Keep the jig out the weed. Keep the jig out of the weed. And we'll keep casting ahead. There's actually a nice sand hole in front of me. Just put a jig over that. See how we go. I think we're at 6 squid. I really want to hit the magic number of 10. That'll do me, I reckon. But give it another 20 minutes until that sun disappears, and I think we'll head home. So fingers crossed we can get a couple more. And look at that sunset. Pretty magical, eh? Yeah, right. Literally just turned the camera off after talking about the sunset and I get a squid. Not gonna complain though. Oh, just squirted me. You can see his body pulsating with the ink. Only a little fella, but that's alright. Went on to sizest here. Any squids are good. Oh, thanks mate. Any squid's a good squid. Snotty bugger. Yeah, there's snot on the lure. So another squid won't touch this lure while it's so snotty. So a couple of quick flicks through the water cleans that off. And that was off that sand patch, just like I thought. Alright mate. Ooh, there you go. Crushed his eyeballs. Alright. Got a better squid on here, I think. Not too bad at all. A bit further out. Because of that sun setting in the background, this orange jig's actually starting to work. Oof. This could be the best one of the set, I think. Oh, let him ink. Yeah, not bad. Happy with that. Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous looking squid. Get this bad boy back out there. Little karate chop. Helps if you do it right the first time. On the bottom again. Oh no, that's a good squid. Huh. Not gonna complain about that. There we go. Come here, buddy. Beautiful. Good squid. That one is the bottom. Yep. And the way that I've let this one sink, it will be on the bottom. Yep. That's right, we're off. Oh, and that one's on another squid. That's a better squid. Look at the lunges on him. He's not happy about life, is he? It's the joys of having such a flexible rod. They can lunge. Come on, pop back in there. There we go. Still got him? Yep, still got him. Look at that, 2 and 2 casts quickly. This little jig's doing the damage. Lovely little calamari. Look at the size difference in that. Scaler bag, insert. Just chuck it over that. And then these scissors. Off with the head, off with the tip. And then the idea of that is by taking the head and the tip off, it allows water to essentially pass through the tube, burst the ink sacs, and blow a bit of the stomach contents and guts out of the squid. So once I get the bag filled with squid, I put it inside the bigger part of the scaler bag, and then we tow it around for a couple of minutes. Beautiful squid heads for bait. Look at that. These scissors make it so much quicker and easier than trying to use a knife. Quick wash of the hands. Alright. Now that's done. Tie it up. Just do a big granny knot in it. Into the main part of the scaler bag, and then once I'm ready to take off, I'll throw it over the side. Right, rods are packed up. Start the motor, put her in gear, make sure that's tight, throw it over, and then we've towed them for a couple of minutes. They should be good to go. Let's turn the light on. There we go. Nice little spotlight. So, if done correctly, they should be nice and clean. So we'll tip them out of the main bag. Undo that knot we did. Alright, there we go. Got the knot undone. You can see through the bag just how white those squid are. So look at that. All the skin's gone, which is a pain to get rid of. Watch the wings. Straight off. And they are perfectly edible. All you do then is just cut this little bit of harder part out, strip your wings, and they're edible. So the tube itself, because they've been bashed around in the bag, it makes it a lot easier to get the krill out and all the stomach contents. Look at that. And it's essentially clean. Quick little dab in the ocean. Look at that. Doesn't get much easier than that. So I'll knock the rest of these out, and then I'm going to head home, cook them up, and head out tomorrow and chase some snapper. Alright guys, well if you enjoyed that, you'll learn a few things, and you want to see more tinny adventures, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and catch you next time. Cheers guys.